Welcome back to For the Win, the greatest video game podcast in the world. Did you guys see this week, actually, I think this morning, GTA 6 has officially been announced. We've been talking about rumors for months, and there's been little hearsay leaks. And Rockstar president Sam Houser dropped a tweet, and he said, we're excited to announce the first trailer is going to be December.
Yeah, I saw it this morning. I thought it was So one of my favorite indie developers is Running with Scissors, and they had a tweet about it because
that's my favorite Weird Al album.
they had tweeted it back in October to Rockstar. It said, Rockstar, if you don't show GTA 6, we will show Postal Dude's penis. And because Rockstar's been totally silent on it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually how I found out about it, because they had retweeted the tweet and they're like, Rockstar just didn't want to want us to have to show Postal Dude's wiener out. And I was like, wait, what? And I had to scroll back on their Twitter. So that's how I found out. I found this morning.
Dude, GTA 5's been out for over 10 years.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
10 years, and it's still one of the most popular games.
Well, you know what? I didn't finish it until a couple months ago, so I will play GTA 6 in 2033.
It's supposedly, I read a thing, it's supposed to have some multi-billion-dollar budget or something like that, a couple billion.
I mean, it's been in development for a gajillion years, dude.
Yeah.
So they just
the most expensive game. It said it's it could be the most expensive game ever made. How crazy is that to think about that?
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's nuts. I don't think they'll let us down either. I know the hype has been real, but Rockstar has been one of those companies that I feel like they meet expectations. They're right there as long as they've been putting out this stuff, and they've been able to hold a player base for GTA 5 for a decade. That's unreal.
Yeah, they keep releasing it. They keep re-releasing it.
But they're adding
content.
They're adding content and keeping players engaged.
I talk about game preservation all the time on this show, and re-releasing a game while adding new content and putting it on newer platforms so people can keep playing it is how you do it. You know, so I'm all for it.
They for sure didn't think GTA Online was going to be as popular as it is.
Oh yeah, it's so different from when it launched.
Idea.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'll probably be getting the game. I'll be pumped to see that trailer in December, giving fans a great Christmas present. It's just gonna they do this breaking the internet type stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember I got it on 360 on release, and then when they announced it for Xbox One, I bought it on the Xbox One. And then just a month or so ago, I think it was on sale for the current gen remaster or whatever, and I bought it on there too. So I bought the game three times.
Nuts, right? Yeah.
That's crazy. Fortnite has also had a crazy week because, as you know, they brought back OG Fortnite, which we've talked about in the past. But literally this Saturday, there were 44.7 million players who played throughout Saturday. And it was Fortnite's biggest day ever. And they put out a little tweet just thanking players. And they're like, hey, we had the biggest day ever in the history of our game on Saturday. 44.7 million people jumped in, and 102 million hours of Fortnite was played. Isn't that nuts? And I hope
I played. I
Yeah.
never played Fortnite before, but I was playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, we ran some trios. And I hope, and I think a lot of people hope, I saw Ninja mentioning this too, that Epic learns from this. Because this is like no small thing when you can get players to play. And like even Lee, shout outs to Lee, a friend of ours. He jumped back in because we all kind of fizzled out around the same time when it started to just get too much. And he jumped back in and he texted us like a couple days later. Just like, dude, OG Fortnite is so good. And there's something to be said for a simple and fun game that's easy to, like, it's accessible. And I really think they would be just morons to get rid of this mode after this, like, showing. It's crazy. So
I wouldn't put it past EA to like take it away and then like
Epic
bring it back again. Yeah. I don't know why I said
Epic.
EA. I wouldn't be surprised for them to like take it away and then bring it back again. You know, like the McRib. Like it's that same.
Yeah.
That's what I hope they don't do, because then they'll just like let it die down, the population drop, and then bring him back.
Soon as the population drops, they will probably do that because that's what they did with the McRib.
Well,
like,
but
they people stop buying it. They take it away. When they say they're bringing it back, everyone's like, "I gotta get it," and that's what's gonna happen.
Well, I think this weekend's really just like a testament to like when you have like a great game that's really fun, and then you just like let it be. You know, I think of like Melee or like the Halo 1, 2, and 3. You know, like you don't have to keep just changing and updating. Like, let a game release and then let people master the game and get better at the game, instead of just like rebalancing and changing and adding new things, just constantly changing it. Like just let it exist as it is.
Yeah. It's like any kind of art form, right? Like people sometimes say like a song is never finished, right? But like at some point you have to let that go, release it into the world, and let it stand on its own. And I just imagine some of those famous paintings in the world. Like, what if the artist like did this beautiful thing, but then like went into the gallery every once in a while and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna add something here, add something there. It wouldn't be able to become like timeless. It wouldn't be able to like withstand the test of time because it just has changed so much. And I think to your point of like preservation, Henry, then it's like you don't even you can go back and play CS 1.6, but it's like now CS:GO is gone, and there's something that's
lost.
There's something that's lost. And so I think that
which is like, this has been what something I brought up. I've been like private conversation with you before when I've talked about like always online games that are live service, how it becomes lost because it just keeps compounding in on itself. And that's actually something that pushed me away from like Fortnite. Like I don't like that the game isn't just how it is. Like the constant evolution in some circumstances is good, but like it can also eventually lead to a game that is nowhere near what its original inception was.
Right. And with that, you can't access some of like the memories, and you can't return to the beauty and the memories and the fun that you used to have. I think about like Blades of Steel, John, with that old NES game that you and Dad love to play. And it's like, hey, you go get that copy of Blades of Steel, you stick it in an NES, and you can get that same experience. It's the same game, and you can enjoy it. And you're like, man, I remember when, right? I remember when. And current gen gaming won't be able to do that.
I use a similar example because like I was like a retro gamer, right? But like I wasn't about nostalgia. It was just like, oh, I have an NES. I want to experience the NES's library, right? And so I was getting games and I was experiencing them as they were when they came out in like 1986. And I was able to feel and see how a gamer in 1986 was experiencing that game versus like, last time we talked, I said, oh, I can't show you CSGO, but I could show you CS 1.6, right? It's like, oh, you never played the original Counter-Strike? We can still do that. And, that to me is important.
For sure.
And it's not just video games, it's all kinds of media. It's why I'm like, we could talk about Star Wars and, the original cuts.
Oh, gosh.
Same deal.
Dude, I had such high hopes that Disney would release those when they bought Star Wars. I was like, oh, maybe there's a chance. They love money. That would sell like crazy. But
yeah,
they had other plans.
Well, what's crazy?
I think there was like a stipulation in their in the contract that like they couldn't do that. I think I heard that. No idea on the source. I don't remember, but I recall hearing that someplace.
It's just so crazy. Like, you cannot release the theatrical versions of these movies.
And it's because George Lucas is the type of person where a film is never done. It is abandoned. And so that's what ends up happening, right? We could do the same thing with video games. And all of a sudden we have, crap walk in front of the screen. We have all kinds of stuff. Same reason I don't like Fortnite anymore. It's like it's just Rick and Morty and Master Chief running around now, and that's not what I not what I signed up for.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy, even with all of that, we talked about, just to bring it full circle, Fortnite a couple weeks ago, before OG Fortnite, actually broke their own record and hit peak. So OG, like right before OG even released. So this wasn't, what's crazy about Fortnite right now is this wasn't even a situation where they were like, ooh, we're losing players left and right. We're in a Destiny Bungie free fall. No. They've been going strong. They broke a record like a couple weeks ago. And then they release OG Fortnite to just like drive the point home, cherry on top. And the running theory right now that some people have is this next season is going to be really, really big announcements, big changes, because they want all eyes on Fortnite for what it's going. So they're bringing everyone back, everyone who's still here, and there's going to be some like big things dropping. We'll see, but it's just crazy that you would think, all of us would think, yeah, it's just leave it as your ace in the hole, and the moment things start going bad, use it. But it's like, no, they just used it when they were on top still, which is pretty crazy to think about.
What's also really crazy about Fortnite is just how the Battle Royale mode was an afterthought. Right?
Yeah.
It's really
100%.
funny to think about how like it was this like, co-op game. I remember like seeing like its booth at PAX and everything, and
yeah, Lee was hyped on it.
I had one other friend, Martez, who was like, he's like, "Are you gonna get Fortnite?" I'm like, maybe, I don't know. It looks all
Shout
right.
out to Martez.
And then the game had started I feel like it died off. No one was talking about it and playing after it launched. And then when the Battle Royale came out and it was like free to play, to me it felt like just trying to like cash in on like PUBG at the time. They're like, we're clone PUBG with this game we already made, and we're gonna make it free. And then all of a sudden it just took off, and it's just really funny to think about because no one even thinks about the PvE mode, at all.
So someone who's not at all on top, Halo Infinite, again, actually really big news. They dropped the Mark V armor in the shop. And for those of you who don't know at home, the Mark V is the Halo 1 Master Chief original armor. It's an 18-piece Halo 1 armor set. and it has the original Master Chief color, and it's $20. And I've seen like 50-50 mixed responses on all of it, but I'm curious how you guys feel about it, about the price point, about the drop itself. It looks beautiful. Like, I see it and I'm like, God, I love that armor. However, in full transparency, I have not logged on to Infinite and I have not purchased it, and I probably am not going to. What are your guys' thoughts on this armor drop?
I mean, Halo Infinite so far has been like the only Halo game where once I got it, I didn't have like the Mark V helmet, right? And it's only a kit too, so you can't customize it, right? It's just you are Master Chief. It's not a normal set of like armor. If I recall,
I'm not sure, but
yeah, I think
would
they
be
said it was
kinda
gonna be like
lame.
an armor kit.
Yeah, includes a couple. The bundle includes a couple coatings.
Okay. So, I mean, it's really cool, but it's not $20 cool. I really hate microtransactions, just full stop. And I really don't want to continue to feed the beast that I hate, right? So there's that. And I don't know, it's I would pay $5 for like a single kit with some other colors. Like $20 seems like
it's steep.
It's pretty steep for what it is. Like
It's more expensive than Combat
Pass.
Evolved right now. Like, you can buy
The
Halo
full game
CE for
what, $10?
$20.
$15.
It's like it's the battle passes are only $10. That's like 2 seasons of battle passes.
Is there a way to unlock it for free, or is it only in the store?
No. They want that money. There's no way they're giving that for free. And you know what's going to come next, right? Halo 2. We're going to get ODST.
It's just like so insane to me to pay $20 just to have that art, like just to be able to select that armor, when it's just like it's been free and everything else. Like, it's insane.
Dude, coming from like the PC gaming world where like mods were free, like it's absolutely insane to me, right? That like you're gonna charge $20 now, because like it makes no sense. But like that's what happens when you have a free to play like model, right? That's the crux of all of these shop problems, is because like they went completely free to play, and it just they need to make their money. And so that's why we have the neutered armor system and everything.
Man, I mean, for like $10-15, you used to get like a bundle of maps, like for DLC, you know, and this is $20.
Like the entire Halo 2 map set of like the first multiple map packs was like $20 when you bought it, like all around. It was like $5 for a pair of maps before.
Yeah, and it's just disheartening because they're gonna keep doing it. I mean, the game jumped
people are buying
41 places on Steam's top selling games by revenue chart, and then
they do it because people accept it and they pay for it, and so that's why I'm like really like personally just adamant about like trying so hard not to go into like loot boxes or even just a lot of like just cosmetic bull crap on like games, because it just like we're reaping what we sow. Like we as gamers have essentially asked for this for like over the last 10 years. That's what we've told the industry, that this is what we want, right? So
1999 is just too steep for any skin. Like the Halo CE Mark V is my favorite out of every Halo. Just that classic one is my favorite, and that's the one I would spend money on. But 1999 or 2200 credits is just too much, and so that's kind of one side of it. The other side is I just have this like really big bone to pick with 343, and I kind of just want to vote with my wallet on this one. And I would,
I'm a big proponent of that.
Yeah, I would just rather 343 doesn't make Halo, and I'd love to see someone else give it a try. And so I don't want to personally. I don't want to support
like,
it.
That was the price they gave it, was like $3.40. You know what I mean? They could have been really, really creative. There's so many numbers that just get thrown around in Halo lore that like they could have had a lot of fun with this very specific skin. But
or no, what if just as like an act of good faith, they on the release of Halo, like November 10th, there was a Halo CE challenge, and there was a 10-stage battle pass, and for that day, for like that week only, you had to complete that battle pass to unlock the armor. So it's basically free, but you had to put some time into the game, maybe play a CE playlist with some CE maps, and then give it to the fans that way. That like just an act of good faith. Hey, we know it's been a couple years. We know it's been not the best. We're on the upswing. We've been kicking some goals, but it's like, no, it's just like, no. $20. We're going to release the best thing we've ever released, and you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I
just can't. I just have no desire to support 343 just in any way.
Fair enough.
Like, I haven't played the Master Chief Collection in who knows how long. Infinite. Like, I'm just not interested anymore.
Yep.
We can play Roblox. We can play
Roblox.
Delta Ring on
Roblox.
In fact, I was looking at 360s on OfferUp and just like getting a copy of Halo 3 on 360 and just like playing it. So I'm not supporting the Master Chief Collection by loading it up on there.
Man, you're hardcore. You don't even want to give them the numbers,
playtime, the stats,
nothing.
Anything.
Yeah.
It's just so disappointing. It's just been very, very disappointing.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be a brighter day. It's like
my favorite games.
Who's also disappointed? Speedrunners and Baldur's Gate 3. They've been pretty disappointed this past week. Because did you guys hear about the patch? Baldur's Gate 3 dropped a patch, and in this patch, they changed some things and made it harder for you to, let's say, seduce some characters and get intimate with them, we'll say. And this has had rippling effects throughout the sex speedrun community. These people who speedrun the game, and they complete the game by the first moment they have intimacy with an NPC. And so this patch changed some of the variables that would require you to woo over certain NPCs. And one Redditor Monkey, he was lamenting. He's like, this specific change could be huge for the speedrun category. We don't know yet what these worthy actions are or how long it'd take to do them. Sex percent might never be the same again. So they're freaking out a little bit, because they're going to have to figure out how to seduce these characters faster to complete the speed run of the video game faster.
It might, honestly, if they change it too much, it might kill the sex percent speedrun category for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. But let's be real. These guys just like running it. It's like a meme, right? They'll always do it. Meme. They'll always do it.
There's always like meme categories. Like Mario Odyssey had the nipple percent. which was how fast can you get to the part where like Mario doesn't have a shirt and
I didn't even know that, dude.
oh yeah, dude, yeah, Mario Odyssey nipple percent. That's a category. The record right now is 1114.
I love that you know that.
I had it in another tab, but
That is
That's
so
awesome.
ridiculous. Oh, dude. Did you guys hear about the Modern Warfare 3 campaign? That it's already just getting obliterated. I had one buddy who told me, shout outs to Trevor, he told me, look, I really like the campaign. I know what they are. I understand what they are, and I just play through them to play through them. But like people have been torching it, a lot of COD players, and like IGN gave it a scathing 4 out of 10. Said it was underbaked, rehashed, and cobbled together from multiplayer parts.
I mean,
So it's not a remake of the original Modern Warfare 3 campaign.
no, it's a sequel to last year's Modern Warfare 2, which wasn't a remake either. But like there's like it's all kind of a sort of a retelling. Like did you finish Modern Warfare 2 last year, John? Did you play it? So you remember the whole like, we didn't there was no Russian mission in that, but we did get that end credit scene where we see Makarov on an airplane and he texts no Russian. So it's like, which is now a mission in Modern Warfare 3 2023. And it also sucks. It's such a cop out of I watched somebody play through that bit. Excuse me. Please edit that burp out. But yeah, it's you can't kill civilians on it.
Interesting.
So,
Lame.
Well, because I remember Modern Warfare 3, the original. I mean, the story had like a major impact on you. Like you were very moved by the story.
Yeah, like when the bomb goes off in France and it shows just like that scene where it just shows some people taking like a vacation photo and all of a sudden, boom, they're dead. The campaign for Modern Warfare 3, I really, really liked. I remember the ending too. Like it still sticks out. That was well over 10 years ago. And they're trying to push some boundaries, but also playing it very safe in this. I won't go into spoilers, but yeah, I don't feel this inclination to play through it. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Did you guys? Oh, go ahead, John.
Well, I was just gonna say people have been review bombing the original Modern Warfare 3 by mistake, and so the 12-year-old game is getting completely demolished on its Metascore.
People are so ridiculous, man. The whole review bombing thing, just crazy. Did you guys see the forced advertisement on your Xbox screen for Modern Warfare 3? A lot of people were up in arms about that. When that came up on my screen, I'm like, I hate it here.
It's not the first time that Microsoft has done it. And so I don't blame Microsoft for being like, okay, yeah, sure, we can do that again, right? But apparently now a lot of people are mad about it, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. But
it's not. So like I wasn't upset by it, and part of me is like, okay, well they just bought Activision, so like it's like they're advertising one of their own games, so it wasn't like, Activision paid a whole bunch of money to Microsoft to get them to do this kind of thing. It was like, oh yeah, I guess they own this now. But I don't remember the last time they had done that for a game. But
I don't remember exactly what it was either. Like I had totally forgot about it, but like apparently it's happened like I think 2-3 times for like other games. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean there's already like ads on the dashboard, so to me, it's just like a slippery slope. Like, am I going to be navigating the dashboard, and then it's just are we going to have pop-ups soon, or
Oh God. Yeah.
We'll have to watch an ad before your game loads.
Oh my God! Don't. Why would you even put that out there? That is
just
makes me
threw it
sick
out
to my
there and
stomach.
took a drink.
Oh my God, dude! I would change. I would stop. I've been Xbox.
I would play 360 again.
Yeah, I know. I would
No,
be.
no, 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 no.
I'd be
original
out.
Xbox.
I'd be out at that
All
point.
you gotta do, if that's the situation, hit me up and I will get you a Raspberry Pi running Pi-hole, and you won't have to deal with that ever again. I don't see ads in this house, so like,
Nice.
I saw this morning. Lightning McQueen is coming to Rocket League. Really random Disney Rocket League crossover, and the interesting thing though is it'll be the very first like car vehicle to have like dynamic expression. So he's gonna have his eyes moving, and like he'll be like Lightning McQueen from Cars in the game, which I actually thought was pretty cool. And I love Rocket League. I haven't been playing it lately, but it's a random collab. I'm just like, why now? And why at this time? Usually it's with the release of a movie or something they want to promo. But it's just like, oh yeah, here's Lightning McQueen. I bought a DeLorean, which I love.
yeah, I have the DeLorean DLC for it too.
And I would do this one too, because I do like the Cars movies, and if it's reasonably priced, then I would probably get it.
I absolutely hate the Cars movies. I don't understand them.
Dude, and they're going to have the Life is a Highway anthem.
Oh,
When you score a
yes.
goal.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that's so good.
Now, if they had a
Like-
Mater car DLC, oh, that'd be fire.
Well, they're going to have the like the Corvette style paint job and like the Dynaco like turquoise paint job.
Yeah.
But seeing this makes me really want them to add the Chevron claymation cars.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They need
Those
to
would be
get
so
those in
cool.
there.
That'd be
That'd be a good. That would work as a collaboration, right? Like I was telling Allison, she doesn't remember those at all.
Really?
And like, yeah, and
you
like,
were just talking about the Chevron claymation cars.
yeah, because like, they had the toys for them,
yeah.
and Raymond had like a huge collection of all the toys, and I remember like the first lineup. Yeah, it's Sam Sedan, Tony Turbo, Wendy Wagon. Those are the first three in the first wave, right? They each had a feature where you drive them and their eyes moved, and sometimes they had other stuff going on. There was like a cool little like Suzuki Samurai that we had too. We had like all of them for a while, but that was because like we started talking about it because we watched the Winnie the Pooh horror movie and how it became public domain, and then we were talking about the difference between Disney's version of Winnie the Pooh and the books, and she had never read the books, and I got books from way back in the early 90s. BP, the gas station, had a promotion where they were they were selling BP branded collections, box sets of the Winnie the Pooh books, and so I got those when I was like a little kid, and she's like, why would a gas station have like a weird promotion like that? I'm like, they do that kind of thing all the time. Don't you remember the Chevron cars? And she's like,
Dude.
what? So that's the Winnie the Pooh horror movie led to a conversation about the Chevron cars.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I mean, is that where Pixar got their inspiration? I mean,
it was before. The way they talk in the commercials and everything, it looks exactly like the Cars animation.
So,
the eyes are the headlights.
The eyes are the headlights on the Chevron cars, which is a very common thing when people try to like anthropomorphize. I can't talk right now. When people try to humanize cars, they tend to put the headlights as eyes. So Pixar, I remember watching like a behind the scenes thing, and they were very deliberate to go about it a different way to make something else the eyes and not the headlights. That way it would stick out and be different.
Wait, were these animated by like the Wallace and Gromit studio?
I believe so. And
the dogs look like Wallace and Gromit. I just remember like the cool looking dogs with the sunglasses and.
Yeah, ever since I started putting Techron in my tank, I feel great.
Chevron with Techron, it cleans while you run.
Oh, dude, 90s, 2000s was a golden era of like commercials and oh man, so good.
Yeah, I watched the Sizzler commercial like 10 times in a row the other day because I was just like, I can't believe this is like
this was on
real.
TV.
Like this is what it was like. Oh man.
So like if you look at like Pixar's other works, like RC, in Toy Story, had the headlight eyeballs, right? So I feel like somebody was really like, we need to really, really differentiate ourselves. And I don't know, do you prefer the headlight eyeballs on a humanized car, or do you prefer the windshield eyeballs?
I think it makes more sense to have the windshield just because like cars need headlights to see in the dark. And so if your eyes are headlights, how do you see in the dark?
But that also makes it make more sense, right? Yeah. It makes it make sense, right? You need those to see. You need eyes to see.
But then
one thing that really has always. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but then it also doesn't make sense that like all the windows in a car are like solid, and you can't like see in the cars are like solid. You can't see through, and it's like they close their eyes, and it's just solid.
who's driving the cars? Because there's people there. There's no people there, but they got gas stations. They got doors still. World War II happened in the Cars universe. That's what I really get messed up about. Because, like, Sarge is a World War II veteran, which means there is a Cars Hitler. And there was concentration camps. Like,
concentration.
Like, are they made out of metal? Are there seats inside?
Did the people die? Who made the cars? Where are they born? Because the cars, he was attracted to that one car. He was watching that car and checking her butt, and it's just the trunk, and he was like, it's...
Apparently, there's a deleted scene where one of the cars has hiccups, which would mean, like, they have a diaphragm? Internal organs.
You could make an argument that there was like air in their fuel line, and they were having like
Sarge is a veteran from the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. When I've heard that, that's how come I said I don't like the Cars movies. They don't make sense to me. That's why I said that earlier, because like
it's a kids movie, Henry. It's just for
why
kids.
Are they giving him a if it's a kids movie? Why is there a World War II veteran in it?
Well, and then it's just in Cars 2, they're taking off their tires to go through TSA. It's like post 9/11.
That means Cars 9/11 happened. That means, and then the Cars universe takes place in the Planes universe. Planes is another movie. That means some planes like crashed into the World Trade Center.
Okay, take it one step further. There is a car Pope.
Right, and he's the Pope Mobile, right? He's still the Pope Mobile, right? Do I remember that right? So the Pope Mobile was created because someone tried to assassinate the Pope. So then they made the little Pop-O-Matic Pope like looking thing to go over him, which means somebody still tried to assassinate the Pope in the Cars universe, and so he became the Pope Mobile. But it makes no sense because he should just be riding around in a dome and not riding around with a dome. It makes no sense.
Oh my gosh. Well, when you come to Orange County, we can go to Cars Land, Henry, and we can just you can just like have your brain
I have
implode.
so many questions.
Yeah.
In the first movie, Mia and Tia flash their headlights at McQueen.
Oh, that's true. I remember that. Yeah, they flash him. There's a flashing, like these girl cars.
Are boobs.
Yeah, and they flash. It's so bizarre. Shout outs to Dumb and Dumber. That's a Dumb and Dumber moment.
I told you earlier, I don't like the movie. It makes no sense, and the more and more you think about it, the less sense it makes, and the more questions you have.
It's that
and the
tism.
more movies they release.
It's the tism,
it makes
Henry.
It worse.
It's the tism, Henry. You're so black and white.
I can suspend disbelief. I love Toy Story.
Okay.
But like, it's not. And I love the Chevron cars. It's not the talking cars that's the problem. It's everything else. It's the cars. 9/11. It's the concentration camps. Was Cars Hitler a Volkswagen? Like
Vader goes to the Roman Colosseum.
Was it a demolition derby in the Roman Colosseum?
What does it
that
mean?
That alone just applies so much. They're all cars.
Everything brings more questions.
Wait, so that means that you can travel back in time in that movie. There's like some type of time travel. If he goes to the Colosseum and he's a car, that means cars weren't invented then, so he can go back there. So he had to get back there.
David, that's the question, because there's no people. Where are the cars coming from? Where did they come from? That's the question, right? Like, were they always in existence? Were there Roman gladiators?
Maybe it's a metaphor for life, Henry, and the human experience. Where did we come from?
Maybe they weren't cars. Maybe they were the chariots, right? You just had chariots that roll around.
Mater has corpses hanging in his scrapyard and no one says anything.
Yeah, that's crazy. I gotta watch that movie.
David,
I gotta watch that movie again.
It's not a thing about being black and white. That's the problem. The movie's not black and white. The movie makes you question a lot of things if you pay any sort of attention. If you just go, "Oh yay, it's animated cars," then it's fine. But if you use more than two brain cells, it starts falling apart.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
BlizzCon happened this last week. Did you see anything about BlizzCon, John?
I don't know. They need to do a Lightning McQueen crossover with Diablo 4.
Gonna make Henry spit out his beer. The BlizzCon was, I watched a full thing of it, and it was met with like mixed reviews. I feel like we don't need to spend like super long on this, but it was disheartening when Chris Menson came out and talked about Warcraft, and he was like, dude, here's the next 2 decades of Warcraft, 3 expansions. This is where we're going. This is the big idea. This is what it's going to be called. This is kind of the general direction of the story, and we're so excited about it, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, for Diablo, it was literally just, hey, we got an expansion coming, and it's in a jungle place. That's it. I was like, as a first-time Diablo fan, right? This is the first time I've ever been into a Diablo game, Diablo 4, and I was really excited for BlizzCon for the first time. I'm kind of glad I didn't get a ticket now, because, one, the whole thing was just streamed online in real time, so it's like, what, like, sweet, I'm gonna find out with everyone else. But 2, the announcements for Diablo 4 were like hardly anything, and I was like, man, they're like, we're gonna get a new class. It's like, oh, we don't even like get to see it. Like, why even tell us? You know, it was very underwhelming, I will say.
Yeah, they basically just kind of announced, you know, the expansion that's going to come out late next year, and then the first day, like the keynote was pretty cool, and they shared a bunch of stuff and all that. But then like the campfire was like super lame, and like they kept talking about stuff in like these vague terms, but like never gave any specifics. So they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a new class, completely new, but then don't say what it is or show anything. And like this was their chance to like build some hype and like you know people have been enjoying season 2. It's like been a really big improvement, and like season 2, and then leading into BlizzCon, everyone's like watching, and then you just kind of don't do much with the opportunity, it seems.
Yeah, not a lot there, but apparently this is kind of a common thing with them, is sometimes they just will not tell you what's going on, and you just want to hear what's going on, even if it's not finalized. Like, tell us what you're working on, and which will probably come down the line, but you don't need to tell us seed idea. Just like tell us something. But all I got out of it was like, okay, you're getting 3 malignant rings, we're getting the vessel of hatred, which is going to go along this story, but it's like not much else.
Yeah, I saw something. I don't know if it was official or not, but apparently Phil Spencer, he wants to get Blizzard back to kind of where they were when they were like an independent studio. And apparently, the development process under Activision just took like a very long time, and they had to run ideas and get approval up the chain of corporate Activision. And it seems like Phil is just like, just run your studio, do what you guys do best. And so hopefully maybe that'll kind of get them back to where they were. I know there's a lot of people that aren't there anymore that were at Blizzard during their all-time highs, but if they can speed things up by not having to get everything approved by Activision, that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, that sounds great. I love that. If that's true and that's Phil's plan, I think that'd be a massive win. So many of these game companies just get too big for their own good, and then they just get in their own way. So, did you guys hear about the deal that Xbox made with an AI company? It's a multi-year like deal partnership where they will use AI to help develop the games, building game dialogue, like narrative tools at scale in order to like build out the stories and the quests and everything like that. But that's like a contract. It's like a deal they've made with what's the AI company name? I forget the name of it.
It's a in-world AI. That's the right, or is that what it is?
I think so.
I think.
Well, how do you guys feel about this?
I mean, it can streamline that sort of thing. Like, I am not totally against AI. I definitely have used it for like coding projects, but I also really like it for actually this sort of like narration based thing. So I have like stacks and stacks of Seinfeld. It's not fan fiction. I'm not gonna.
It's fan fiction.
It's Seinfeld scripts that I have made where I came up with like the concept and the theme and the plots, all the A and B plots and everything else. But because AI can have like every episode of Seinfeld in it, right? It knows how the characters talk and interact with each other. So I'm able to like use AI and feed it bit by bit, like what I want to happen in this Seinfeld script, and then it will just have the characters interact in a way that feels very much like how they would talk and interact in the show. So for like narration and dialogue trees specifically, I could see that fleshing out pretty easily with AI, to be honest.
Mm.
Especially with like an open world kind of game. Just imagine like all the NPCs that just say like stupid, meaningless crap, and you can like go into dialogue trees with them, and you could just have that just completely automated, and you just can make that more expansive without like causing huge amounts of dev crunch. Where like imagine being someone that's working on an open world game, and your job is to just create stupid countless dialogue trees for the NPCs, right?
Mm.
And
Or like chatter.
yeah, all that extra stuff, like the stuff people will say as you walk through and walk by, like having like obviously somebody can still be there and be like, I think they should say this sort of thing, and have that sort of human input, because it's not entirely being done by AI. But having AI just to crank out a bunch of that also can definitely be better off, I think, in this specific use case.
Yeah, well, they got a contract now, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. And I would be interested to like play some of the games where they're like, yeah, we used AI to create all this dialogue, and see how it feels. You know, that's my only hesitation, is like I don't want to lose that human element where it doesn't feel creative or like human. That human touch, I think we talked about it with Marty in music and AI in music in the interview, and losing that human touch and creativity, I think, doesn't benefit the game. I think it makes the game worse. So
yeah, exactly. No, I agree with that part. Yeah, definitely.
We'll see. I saw this thing that the 1990 Dr. Mario game, someone hacked it. I'm calling it DLC. It's not DLC, but there's a hack that turns the 1990 Game Boy Classic Dr. Mario into a Game Boy Color game. But not only that, the hack is cool because they added 3 more characters to it.
It definitely makes the Game Boy version easier to play, because like it was an NES game. You had like 3 different colors, and the Game Boy, you're working with 4 shades of like green.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I remember as a kid, my friend Martin said, "Yeah, I got Dr. Mario for the Game Boy." I was like, "How's that even work?" And it's because it's like you have like black
cars,
gray,
Dr. Mario, just everything.
Yeah, you have black pills, gray pills, and you have like a checker pill.
Right.
And that's how they had to do it for it to make sense. So turning to a Game Boy Color game knocks out the park, because I love Dr. Mario so much. And
yeah, I remember when it came out on the Wii. What's the Wii?
Oh yeah, Dr. Mario, like yeah, I was. There's like I have a video on my YouTube channel of me like clearing like level 99 on Dr. Mario for like the Wii, and I would play online. And I would play online on that a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely going to add this to my analog pocket.
Yeah, they got Dr. Wario. They got Peach. What's the other character they got?
Daisy.
The Luigi. It's Luigi, Wario, and
or maybe it's not
Luigi, Dr. Luigi, Dr. Daisy, and Dr. Wario.
Dr. Daisy, yeah.
It doesn't change the way the game plays, and that when you play as the different characters, it does the ROM hack README does say it added some slight quality of life tweaks to the original code, but he doesn't go into detail, and so I'm really, really curious on what has been altered as far as like how the game works. Besides, obviously, the new characters and being a Game Boy Color game now.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love it. I'd love it if they did more stuff like that, like taking Game Boy games and making them color. I think that's a really cool hack.
It's a big thing that's been happening lately. The last couple of years, like somebody created a hack for Super Mario Land 2 for it to be a full Game Boy Color game called it, and they just throw like the DX moniker on there, like like Nintendo was doing back in the day when they would re-release original Game Boy games as a Game Boy Color version, which I guess can make it kind of confusing if you're just looking at ROMs online, because you won't realize that, like, you know, I could see somebody just beginning to like play old games and seeing a listing of like of Game Boy games, and they seeing a ROM for Dr. Mario DX and just assuming
It's Dr.
it was
Mario.
an official release. Yeah. So
yeah, it's great. Epic had a really, really good week, but also they've been fighting this court case with Google about their app store fees, and they've been in court, and during I think it was yesterday, first day in court, they actually revealed that their PC game store hasn't even turned a profit yet. They're making no money off of that. And I looked into this, and there was a video that was released that compared someone starting up the Epic Game Store side by side with the Steam Game Store. And it just said, it's not profitable. I wonder why. And it took the Epic Game Store to like just open. They just went in side by side, opened the game store, opened the same game, everything. And it took the Epic Game Store like 2 extra minutes. I mean, the game store was just like atrociously slow, took forever, and was all kind of wonky. So I don't know what their plan is with that, because, yeah, no wonder people aren't using it, because it's terrible.
yeah, I don't use the Epic Game Store at all on my PC. At all.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they have,
doesn't surprise me.
Right. They have time to kill because they have multiple cash cows that will feed them for a very long time. But I don't know if having an Epic Game Store is like, I know they want to contain everything and have it all and have the whole thing in their, in our store and our thing. But I mean, Steam has just been around for so long, and I feel like that's kind of this just the go-to, even with its problems. People just are like, it's just easier. Apparently on the last episode of, this is not gaming related at all, by the way, we're a video game podcast, but I just thought this was actually kind of funny. In the most recent episode of The Simpsons, Homer revealed that he's no longer gonna strangle Bart. The like 35-year-old gag, or how long? 30 years.
It's 30.
Going,
yeah, they start 35
forever. 35 years old.
It started the same year I was born, man. Like,
oof.
Yeah.
So he goes over to a neighbor's house and he shakes his neighbor's hand and he's like, "Oh, firm handshake." And he's like, "See, Marge, strangling the boy is paid off." He's like, "Just kidding. I don't do that anymore. Times have changed."
It's
how do
so
you
on
feel
the
about
nose. It's so on the nose. Like they phased it out. They already had phased it out where he wasn't
that's what I was gonna
strangling
say.
Bart.
When's the last time that actually happened in an episode?
Like, yeah, it's because I know the writers had said that they stopped doing it because they realized that child abuse is much more rampant than they really thought, and so that's fair to phase it out. I think that's fine, especially if you feel like times have changed. But to just put it right out there,
2011.
it's just like, is that?
Yeah,
that was the last time. 2011 was the last time he strangled.
12 years ago.
So why now, like, bring that up? It's kind of weird.
It's really, really weird to just flat out say it. Be like, it'd be one thing if, like, they didn't say the "just kidding, I don't do that anymore." Like, you know what I mean? Have the gag right there. Strangling the boy has paid off. But to just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's I don't care about him not strangling Bart anymore. But like, I don't need to be like have my hand held and explain to me like I'm 5 that he doesn't do that anymore.
So if we're if we're 35 seasons in, how much, and that's like when the show came out in, gosh, 89.
Yeah.
So how much time has passed in the show?
None.
None time.
They do a floating timeline. So if you remember back when we were watching the show in its peak and its heyday,
The 90s.
Marge and Homer met at like during high school, and they went to like prom together and everything.
Right.
It's different now. Like that storyline has now been altered. How they met, when they met, the things Homer wanted to do. So Homer wanted to have a bowling alley when we were growing up. Now, when he was younger, his dream was to be a DJ, and I think at one point a rapper. It's like Homer's still like 35 years old. He's
Wow.
Their age has not changed.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Homer's still 30. So it's a floating timeline. So
I'm not going to be as old as Homer Simpson.
I'm supposed to identify now with Homer Simpson.
Nope.
Well, we're not bald. We got that going for us, Henry.
I know. I have a lot of hair going on.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's really, really weird to watch modern Simpsons because it changes any continuity that we had. It's all out the door. It makes no sense. You have to just take it as it is in its moment, right? And so none time has passed.
That's weird.
It's super weird, right? Like, especially like, have they done multiple like Christmas episodes? I know they did like one in like season 1. Like,
right.
How the show started.
Time is passing, but it's not passing.
So it's really weird. I don't like it, and it makes the show just. I tried to give the new stuff a chance. I really, really did. I was like, I can go. Let's see what the humor's like. Blah blah blah. But the floating timeline, which I can accept in other shows, and I accepted in Simpsons for the longest time. I can't do anymore because it's almost 4 decades and Bart's 10. And so,
but isn't there like a fan theory that like it's all multiverse, so every single episode is like a different, it's all the same day in the life.
Did you hear this, or did you make this up?
I'm making this up.
You're trying to make an excuse, is what you're making.
So if there's 400 episodes, every episode takes place in a different universe, but it's the same family. That could be. I don't like it, but that could be
that
a reason.
Compounds on itself because like there's been like that was Treehouse Horror, so that doesn't matter. Like Homer has like jumped from like parallel universes before in Treehouse of Horror.
Okay, well,
yeah, but that was Treehouse of Horror. Those are always not canon, so it doesn't matter. But like I forgot. Like after I said it, I was like, wait, they've done that, and I was like, oh wait, no, that was a Halloween episode, so it's not canon.
When donuts rain from the sky.
yeah, exactly. Oh, it's raining again.
We don't have donuts. No.
And then he leaves, and then it starts raining donuts. She's like, "Oh, it's raining!" Like, so good. I watched that around Halloween this year. I watched this episode. But yeah, it's really hard for me to watch modern Simpsons because of the floating timeline, and it tells me that like everything in the past doesn't matter. Like Skinner being a Vietnam veteran doesn't make any sense anymore because like being a Vietnam veteran, you're like pushing,
old.
Yeah, you're like older than my dad. Like. My dad's retired. Like, it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Nintendo, they keep like getting into the movie business, and they just announced Zelda live action movie. It's going to be starting production, and they're going to get after it. They had a lot of success with Mario. However, that wasn't live action. This could either be really good or really bad. But who should we get to play Link? That's
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland?
No, Timothy Chalamet.
It would have to be someone like kind of short, right? Isn't Link short?
I mean, it depends on which game. Like,
I mean, when he's a child, yes.
Jack Black as Ganondorf?
I'm curious, like, what, like, the pros and cons they weighed and decided that they should do a live action version rather than, like, an animated, like, Mario.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a totally
Zelda.
different studio than they had with Mario, right? So it's because they're having Sony do this.
But, like,
Nintendo's working with Sony to put this out.
Why not have the same studio that
Right.
made you buttloads of cash?
So, like, when I was talking about this before with somebody, the first question was, is Illumination doing it? Like,
Mhm.
and it's like, no, they aren't. They're not doing it. It's Sony. And I don't know. It's interesting, and I wonder if, because like some Zelda games are really, really childish, and some go a bit darker, but it's always still like kind of PG-13y. You know, it's never gone too dark. So
But
I
it's
can
like so cartoony though.
some of it is. So, I could see them doing. I could see them successfully pulling off a live action movie that I would. Okay, I currently am envisioning a movie with the same kind of aesthetic as the Warcraft movie.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's like cartoony.
Which
but
I really
not-
liked the World of Warcraft movie. That was underrated movie.
I had no idea what was going on. I saw it in theaters. I saw a bunch of my friends. I never played WoW. My friends were like, "Want to go see the Warcraft movie?" I was like, "Sure," because it's like not related to the movie. You don't have to play the games to like watch the movie, understand it. So I knew what was going on in the movie, but like I'm like, I have no idea how this relates to anything in this lore.
Yeah.
And I remembered none of it because like I don't play WoW. But yeah, I could see a live action movie in like the same kind of like vibe as the Warcraft movie and working for Zelda.
Yeah. Did you see the Dungeons and Dragons movie? The recent one,
No.
like last year.
No, it's on my Plex server, but
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
I
on
did
the
not
Plex.
That's one of my favorite movies released in the last couple, like Top Gun, Dungeons and Dragons movie, like right there.
I really wanted to see it because like when it came out, we were like in the middle of a D&D campaign, and our bard in our group was like, "You gotta see it; it's so good." And
Yeah.
I was like, "All right." So I intended to, and that's why I got it. But
I made my players go see it with me. It's like, this was, you guys have to come watch this. But yeah, I just don't know about live action for Zelda. Like,
I think it'll work.
I mean, just the costume.
It depends
how do
on
you
which
make
Zelda
that, like,
game they're
look-
gonna dude, because I think Link can work in like you remember the cosplayer that we met back in PAX 06 that had that really, really good Link costume? It can work in live action. Like Twilight Princess Link works in live action really, really well. And Minish Cap, not so much. So it really depends on like what they're going for. So it's hard to say. But I think it'll work. I have high hopes for it. I'm just I'm just really thrown off by the fact that it's not tying into like the Mario movie. Like that's so weird. Like I thought that was like a shoe-in for them to go make a Smash Brothers, cinematic universe. Like,
yeah,
dude, why
that
not?
would be
That would be
crazy.
Why not? Right? We already got a Pikachu movie. We already got a Sonic movie. Just make a deal. Get those involved. Like those are now part of the Smash Bros. Cinematic universe. We're gonna make a Zelda movie. We're gonna make a Donkey Kong movie, even though he was already in Mario. I don't know. We're gonna make a F-Zero movie, and it's gonna be that'd be sick. I would see an F-Zero movie.
And then it's just like it ends up like Anchorman, and they meet in an alleyway, and that's all the different characters, and they're just like they fight it out. It's Smash Bros.
Do you guys remember when IGN, like I want to say like 10, maybe 15 years ago, released on April Fools a live action trailer for a Zelda movie?
Oh,
as an April Fool's joke, and so many people thought it was real, and so like I wonder if someone was like, we just gotta do a live action because there's the stupid IGN crap that came out like a gajillion years ago.
What are you gonna do if they decide to panderverse it?
I mean, Link already looks like a girl, so if Link is suddenly a girl, like, oh well,
and
sure.
And then Zelda's
the voice actor for Princess Zelda, I think, recently said that they are in a relationship, that there is something there.
That Link and Zelda are in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was a given. Like,
I mean, why would
Mario and Peach have a thing too?
I think there's a big fan contingency that see
maybe
Link as something else.
I guess I know I haven't played every single Zelda game, so maybe it gets like weirder at some point. But in the ones I play, I feel like it's kind of like,
why would you go through all that work?
Maybe I'm just biased, where I'm like, oh yeah, the guy rescues a princess. Of course they're together.
In your Mario voice, what was that? Yep. Did you guys get any Game Fuel yet? It dropped this week. Have you guys been able to?
I checked Albertsons today.
I've been checking everywhere, dude.
It.
All right, well,
have not seen it.
Hold on to hope. Stay strong. You'll come across them. I want to try the new flavor because there's a new one too.
I'm still frustrated they didn't call it Mythic Punch. I want to like go Mystic Punch somebody at Mountain Dew for not calling it that. Like, it's just so obvious.
Yeah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I did see something on Halo's Twitter. Unlock the Mountain Dew Tiger Armor coating with the Veracent Dew visor and more on package codes.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't really.
That might actually make me load up Halo Infinite
just to
have Mountain Dew
get the free armor. It's okay. It's kind of cool. The look of it,
but it's the Mountain Dew colors, like the Game Fuel colors.
Yeah, it looks more like Mountain Dew Spark to me. It is the Game Fuel colors, but it's like, I don't know, it's not nothing to write home about, in my opinion.
But having Mountain Dew dripping on your visor, that's pretty cool.
I can't even tell but with the visor. Like,
I know, you can't see any of that crap.
I just want to congratulate all of you because the both of you, I should say, because I read the other day that only the top 1% of podcasts make it to 20 episodes. Most die out before that. So we are now officially in the top 1% of podcasters and podcasts because most never make it to past 20. 220 or past 20. I
Really?
think what it said. Yeah, most stop way before 20. It's a lot. Like, that's a lot. And yeah, it's been a great journey. All right, well, that's it for the win. We'll see everybody next week.
Mm-hmm.
GG's.
GG's.
GG.